That's a fact. Anyway, there's another thing, olive leaf extract. You'll find that olive leaf extract. That's in that super green food powder that we make, that I invented, a formulation where you have a chlorella, spirulina, barley grass, wheatgrass, alfalfa powder, and olive leaf extract, and dulse and kelp, and that is a green food powder. And one of the reasons I put the olive leaf extract in that super green food powder that I put in my cereal and in my power drinks and so forth is because the olive leaf extract has an oleoropine in olive leaf extract is used by the body. The oleoropine, it's used by the body to fight fungal infections caused by candida overgrowth. And a high potency standardized olive leaf extract can obliterate candida quite effectively. So that's another one. And then there's pau d'arco bark. I'd call that daily health tea. And long ago, I was in Seattle, Washington, and I went to their marketplace there in Seattle, Washington. And when you walk into the marketplace there, you get this aroma of cinnamon, spice in the air, man, and you follow that aroma to this little spice shop there where they're brewing up this tea. And so I said, man, that's a good idea. So when we started bringing in pau d'arco bark about 30 or 40 years ago, we started bringing pau d'arco bark into America because pau d'arco bark is a blood cleansing anti-cancer type of an herb that was used in South America, and so we brought it here because we knew it was so healthy for people to have and to drink it just as a daily health tea, but nobody would drink it. It was too bitter. So I used that. I concocted a market spice type flavor of raspberry, cinnamon, orange, ginger, and sprayed it onto the bark. Now the bark tastes delicious, and also put some stevia with it to sweeten it. So now we call it daily health tea, and it's a popular anti-candida herb. Pau d'arco is often brewed into a tea, and drinking 1 cup per day is an easy way to harness its antifungal properties. And garlic, and odorless garlic pills, that's another thing that's going to strengthen your immune system and is a natural antibiotic. Garlic, and when we're talking about garlic, raw garlic is medicine, cooked garlic is flavor. So if you're cooking the garlic, you're not really getting the medicine, you're getting the flavor. But raw garlic is a powerful antibacterial and antifungal agent. And candida cannot survive when garlic is present. Consistently, especially if you consistently have garlic in your diet, candida can't exist. Garlic can simply be added to your normal meals, either as odorless garlic pills or some garlic, on your cooked food. If you're having fish or chicken or whatever, a little garlic on there has, chicken soup, got to have some garlic in that. But most find it convenient and less odorous to take a standardized garlic capsules 3 times a day. Then you got plenty of garlic going through your system. There's something called neem, N-E-E-M, neem. And neem is used extensively in Ayurvedic medicine in India. And neem is known for stimulating the immune system and fighting infections and fungal overgrowth. So now if we have someone who has HIV and they're attacked with all these funguses and viruses, and fungal overgrowth and all this kind of stuff, this gives them an arsenal to fend off the worst case of Candida albicans when they know about all these things. So just a person who doesn't have HIV, well, they're not going to be fighting this off just one or two of these remedies is going to work just fine. However, if somebody is really uh, fighting off fungal infections, this is an army of things that will help. And let's talk about raw organic apple cider vinegar. Well, it's not it's still an herb. It's an herb liquid at this point. When it's raw apple cider vinegar, it comes from apples, and that's an herb. But anyway, it's not quite an herb, but it's too effective to leave off the list. Apple cider vinegar balances the pH level in your body and can prevent harmful pathogens like candida from overgrowth out of control. A teaspoon to a tablespoon taken before each meal can aid in digestion and prevent undigested food particles from feeding the candida in the gut. So just a little bit of raw apple cider vinegar. Oh, we talked about echinacea earlier, and along with the golden seal echinacea, poke root, and cayenne, that Aunt B formula that the FDA keeps trying to take away from you, and me, and echinacea is in there, and the reason why, because echinacea is one of the best known for stopping a cold in its tracks. And echinacea is an herb also that provides anti-candida benefits. It supports your immune system in the fight against candida, as well as other infections. And we're going to give you a couple more, and then that's probably enough. Black walnut. Black walnut is a natural herb which contains tannins. These tannins not only kill fungal overgrowth like candida, but also kill parasites. Parasites, yeah. And it may especially be useful for those who suffer from both candida overgrowth and parasitical infection. Finally, organic unrefined coconut oil. I love that stuff. And I put it on my skin. I love organic unrefined coconut oil. And you can get all these things from betterhealthherbs.com, 541-791-8400. But 541-791-8400. But organic unrefined coconut oil. It's also not an herb. It's an herb oil. It's from coconuts. So, but the coconut's oil, its anti-candida properties are so powerful, and the medium chain fatty acids that make coconut oil such a great energy source are also what fuels its ability to fight the candida. And the fatty acids like caprylic acid and lauric acid are potent antifungal agents. And they work up to you want to work up to taking about 3 tablespoons of coconut oil per day will get rid of Candida albicans. And avoid jumping into any anti-candida regimen too quickly. You don't want to kill off the candida too fast. You could produce a die-off reaction that includes symptoms like foggy thinking and headaches and chills. That can be the symptoms of too fast to die off. For some, this can be quite uncomfortable. And if you notice these symptoms, cut back on your dose and start again more slowly as the symptoms subside. And there you go. That gives you some information about Candida albicans. And let's see if there's any questions. Is there any questions about Candida albicans, or is there any questions at all? The lines are open. I'm taking questions. No questions. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
I have one question.
Yes.
You mentioned the black walnut. You said the black walnut kills parasites. Is this black walnut? Tell me how it comes. Like, is this in a tea, or is it in the nut itself? Like,
Hello?
How do you?
Okay, the black walnut. It's black walnut hulls, and
Okay.
we harvest them here in August, and it's the green part of the black walnut. And I'm going to bring up a tab here. I'm just going to bring up black walnut hulls. You get this as a tincture extract. As a matter of fact,
Okay.
there's a parasite herbal tincture formula that the FDA wants to take away from you. That is a parasite
That's the one
formula.
I want.
Let's look at that parasite formula. Okay, let me find it here. It's Paracan number 1342. Let me go find number 1342. This is number 1342. Oh, come on now. 1342 is the number for that parasite formula with the green, black walnut holes in it. And here it is. It's called Paracan Parasite Removal. I'm going to bring it up on the screen here. It is number 1342, and
Okay.
I'm bringing it up here on the screen, and I'm going to bring it up over here, and I'm going to drop it on here so later you can see the video, and you can see it there on betterhealthherbs.com, and that product has black walnut hulls, wormwood leaf,
Okay.
clove bud, senna leaf, usnea, and male fern. And that parasites do not like that at all. And since you brought up parasites, should we talk about them a little bit?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's go and get the parasite herbal. Let's go over here now and go to herbalhealthreview.com, herbalhealthreview.com, and let's talk about parasites because almost almost everybody has parasites and at one time or another, and usually most of the time. And let's go down the lane here. I'm searching down through herbalhealthreview.com. I'm on common conditions, and there it is, parasite cleanse. And I'm clicking on that parasite cleanse, and um, and perhaps before or soon, I need to ask Sister Kashakia, are you there? Sister Kashakia, are you there? No, she's not. She might be away
Yes,
from.
I'm here. I'm
Oh,
here. I was muted
okay.
out.
I wanted to coordinate with you because and let me know when you're ready to talk about your topic today.
Yeah, about 10 more minutes and I'm ready, Ark. I was just trying to keep up with you, Dr. Truman, but I am here.
Okay,
So about 10 more
wonderful.
minutes.
Oh, okay, give us a preview. What are you going to talk about?
About the liver and how the liver functions, along with the AGEs and understanding detoxification of the liver.
Wow, that's great
So I call it
information.
liver.
I
I call it liver 101.
okay. All right, we're gonna talk very important information. Liver 101. It
Yes.
will be coming up after we describe. We're gonna describe a parasite cleanse. Here we go. Okay, now I've got this over in the screen
Okay.
capture, so we got a video of this later, and I'm looking at this, and oh wow, look at this, folks. More than 90% of Americans have some kind of parasites. We pick up parasites and worms in the foods we eat, the animals we touch, the water we drink, lakes and beaches that we visit, the parks, from day to day contact with other people. And, well, man, you could get parasites all over the place. So, and you may be showing some of the symptoms associated with parasitic infections without knowing it, because these symptoms are often contributed uh, to more well-known causes, and most people, well, they don't even know that they're infected. Things like people that have symptoms like abdominal pain, constipation, anemia, B12 deficiency, blindness, um, uh, and worsening vision. If your vision is getting worse and worse, could be parasites. Central nervous system impairment problems, chest pain, chills, chronic fatigue, colitis, cognitive impairment, coughing, diarrhea, digestive disturbances, dizziness, fever, enlargement of various organs. The lady was talking about the last week that she had one side of her body was getting larger than the other. That could be parasites. It could be lymphatic. It could be, a lot of things, but it could be parasites. It could cause enlargement of various organs. Parasites can cause headaches, immunodeficiency, and you get sick easily when you have parasites. There's insomnia, iron deficiency, itchy anus, jaundice, joint pain, lung congestion, memory loss, muscle spasms, nausea, vomiting, night sweats, swelling of facial features, skin ulcers, unusual sweating, unusual weight loss or weight gain, weakness or fatigue, vaginitis. All can be related to common parasites that infect humans, which are roundworms. Roundworms, the World Health Organization reports that over 1 billion people are currently infected by roundworms. 1 billion right now. And that's roundworms. And they can grow 15 inches in length, and they are incredible breeders, producing over 200,000 eggs each day. They grow in such large quantities so quickly that it is not uncommon for infected people to experience intestinal blockage. And advanced cases may infect the liver and the pancreas. So that could be roundworms. I hear someone talking in the background. Could you please mute your mic, whoever's talking in the background? Thank you. And okay, it's in Tuscaloosa. I'm going to mute your mic. All right. And tapeworms. Well, wait a minute. Let's finish talking about roundworms. The symptoms of roundworms. That they can include rashes from worm secretions of their waste. You get a rash. Stomach pain, asthma, insomnia, eye pain, and more with roundworms that over 1 billion people already have right now. And then there's tapeworms. Tapeworms get their name from being long and flat, like a piece of tape. And tapeworms in humans are the longest of parasitic worms, normally growing to about 9 to 15 feet in length. But they can sometimes grow out of control to more than 50 feet in length. 50 feet. Now, tapeworm infections typically happen when a person eats undercooked meat or some kind of contaminated food. A human tapeworm absorbs its nutrients right through its skin. The tapeworm will attach themselves to a person's intestines and let their body hang out and begin absorbing nutrients from digested food as it flows past and over its body. And the tapeworm, as time goes on, the tapeworm grows a tail made of segments, which each segment of its body contains a complete an independent digestive system and reproduction system. The body grows in length and eventually can break off, carrying with it eggs. These eggs that will spawn new tapeworms. Tapeworm symptoms. Typically, tapeworms are asymptomatic, meaning a person will not even know that they have a tapeworm infection until the tapeworm become quite large. But in some people, symptoms of tapeworms may include dizziness, diarrhea, stomach pain, headaches, nausea, and in worst cases, if left untreated, a person with a tapeworm infection may have intestinal obstruction that requires surgery. The tapeworm treatment should be sought after, with a good parasite detox product that will wipe out a tapeworm infection. And let's talk about pinworms. Okay, now pinworms. The pinworm is quite common in humans, especially in children. A lot of children get pinworms. Where some countries show an infection rate as high as 61%, according to the Center of Disease Control. And don't trust the Center of Disease Control for information about vaccinations because they lie. Anyway, human pinworms are one of the most prevalent parasitic infections in modern countries. Human pinworms. The pinworm infections are passed on through touching things that have previously been touched by infected individuals, or people who have previously touched the pinworm infected area and picked up the pinworm eggs on their fingers, and then they got pinworms. Pinworm symptoms, 1/3 of people infected with pinworms show no symptoms at all. The other 2/3 of pinworm infections symptoms, such as itching around the anus. This in turn may cause insomnia and general restlessness in those infected. Pinworms are easily passed from one family member to another. Pinworm treatment is advised. And hookworms. Hookworms, well, they can grow to about a 1/2 inch in length, a hookworm. It's estimated that over 1 billion individuals worldwide are infected with hookworm. So, yeah, we got billions of people at a time with just hookworms, and there's no typical symptoms with a hookworm infection. However, due to a loss of iron from the blood loss, like an anemia, is likely. So they'll say, "Oh, you got anemia. We'll give you some iron." Well, great. You're feeding your hookworm, but you're not really getting rid of the cause of the anemia. Yellow dock or anemia or herbal formula called anemia that has yellow dock in it. That's what we typically use for anemia. But unless you get rid of the cause, you're just feeding the hookworms. So anyway, and this anemia will cause mental dullness, loss of appetite, and if you're left untreated, cardiac failure, or even death from hookworms is a possibility. Have you ever wondered why dogs are typically allowed on beaches? They're not. Actually, dogs aren't allowed on beaches. You ever wonder why? Dogs are kept off of beaches because if a hookworm-infested canine defecates in the sand and later a human steps or lies on this spot, they can become infected. In children, hookworms cause growth and intellectual retardation. So, and then there's the Giardia parasite. Uh, Health organizations believe that Giardia is the most common intestinal parasite in humans. One becomes infected by Giardia by coming in contact with contaminated food and water or soil. There is power in numbers, and the Giardia parasite coats your lower intestine with millions of its kind, affecting your body's ability to absorb nutrients. Symptoms include stomach or abdominal cramping, gas, diarrhea, fatigue, chills, and nausea. In the image, you can't see it, but when you, I don't know if I can see it either. I can't either. Anyway, there's an image that comes with because there's a parasite video that you can click on here on this report. herbalhealthreview.com, common conditions, parasites, and there's a parasite video. You can see the images of all these parasites. And finally, we're coming to the end here. But we got to talk about whipworms. Whipworms. The human whipworm gets its name due to the fact that it looks like a whip. And it's estimated that over 500 million people are infected with whipworms. Makes you wonder, is there anybody left who isn't infected with some kind of parasite? Anyway, infection occurs through the ingestion of eggs that are usually found in dry good, such as rice. Dry goods like rice. You're going to see these eggs of the whipworm are in rice and beans and other grains. So you got to really wash those grains real good before you use them. The adult whipworm burrows its thinner end into the large intestine, where it will grow up to 2 inches in length. The whipworm produces up to 10,000 eggs per day. And the symptoms of a whipworm infection include long-standing blood loss, which may lead to anemia due to an iron deficiency, and vitamin A deficiency is also possible. So there's that. So let's talk about quickly about what we can do about it. A parasite cleanse takes 90 days. You got to stay with it. You can do 10 days on, 10 days off. Some people because they can't go, that they just won't do it 90 days straight. But it takes 90 days, even if you're going to do it 10 days on, 10 days off, because the little critters, they hide in your intestines and they produce larvae, and then they come out and you get them, but you don't get the larvae. But finally, within 90 days, you're getting the larvae as well, so you're getting them all. Now, no red meat. When you're doing a parasite cleanse for 90 days, no red meat, no refined sugar. Don't eat refined sugar anyway ever, but especially if you don't want to feed parasites. And processed foods feed parasites. Processed foods. Eat at home and make your own foods and eat organic, raw vegetables. And a modest amount of fruits, because the sugars from the fruits can feed the parasites. So a modest amount of fruit, nuts and seeds, fish, grains, and lots of water. And you'd want something called diatomaceous earth. Diatomaceous earth, number 4715. It's a powder. It's the ancient diatoms, which is a plant. And when you take this diatomaceous earth, you can feed it to your dogs, your cats, your kids, and yourself. And this diatomaceous earth is a powder. And this powder doesn't harm your stomach, doesn't harm human tissue, but it cuts parasites. It cuts them up like a razor blade. It acts like a razor blade to a parasite. It cuts them up and kills them. And so you're taking 1 or 2 teaspoons of it in juice, and it's a good idea to take it in juice, because then they're going for the sugar of the juice, and they're getting the diatomaceous earth, and bam, and if you're, so you want to take 1 or 2 teaspoons in juice, water, or a smoothie 2 times per day before meals on an empty stomach, and that'll feed the parasites, and it'll cut them up and kill them. And then you got a parasite removal system, which we already talked about, that formula, number 1342, 24 to 36 drops 3 times a day, in juice, water, in juice would be perfect. Pumpkin seed oil. They don't like pumpkin seed oil. It's the green part on the pumpkin seed that kills parasites. Funny thing about it, it's the green on the black walnut hulls that kills parasites. They don't like that green part. So pumpkin seed oil, 2 or 3 soft gel pumpkin, and eat pumpkin seeds, and take pumpkin seed capsules, number 2503, 2 or 3 soft gels every day. And then you want to flush them out of the body with number 1078 colon and liver cleansing liquid, 1, 2, or 3 tablespoons, whatever it takes to keep every bowel movement so soft that it's breaking up in a cloud. Then you're flushing them out of the body. Oh, and while you're flushing them out of the body, and if you don't want a headache from the die-off, and even if you're doing a candida cleanse, and you don't want a headache from the die-off, get some Truman's Special Fiber with bentonite clay, and that powder. You can put that powder with the diatomaceous earth powder, put it in a juice or a smoothie or something, and take it all at one time. And you're going to want 1 or more tablespoons of that powder twice daily, and you can add it to your juices and so forth. That is going to absorb the die-off, so you don't absorb it and get a headache or feel terrible from all the die-off, because that fiber with the bentonite clay acts like a magnet and a sponge and absorbs toxins and takes them out of the body. So you want to balance that powder along with the colon and liver cleansing liquid to where your bowel movements are breaking up in a cloud. When you flush the toilet, then you're draining all this out of the body. Now, there's inflammation going on about this time, so you're going to take turmeric root. You take anyway 30 to 60 drops, 3 or more times daily of turmeric root tincture, or powder, and you're going to take that, number 3890. That's going to reduce and get rid of inflammation. No inflammation. And let's take some super enzymes, number 2589, 3 or 4 capsules of super enzymes. 3 or 4 capsules of super enzymes. That is going to help you digest, break down, and everything, and get rid of all of this. And by the way, this is a good time to make sure you're taking 3 or 4 tablets at bedtime of Nice Bones, calcium and magnesium, and that would be number 2455, calcium and magnesium, 3 or 4 tablets at bedtime. By the way, when you do that, no more cramping up at nighttime. A lot of people are cramping up at nighttime because they're not getting enough of that calcium and magnesium, and then they got nighttime cramps. Well, that's another good reason to take the Nice Bones, and also it may help you avoid osteoporosis. And make sure you're drinking a lot of water during this, because we got to flush this out of your body, 64 ounces of water every day. And remember, when you're doing a parasite cleanse and detox, people have been known to have flu-like symptoms unless you're using that Truman Special Fiber, which will take care of that problem. So just know that that's how to avoid that. That's it for a parasite cleanse, and we detailed it. And that's up there on herbalhealthreview.com under common conditions. And then you go down to P for parasites and click on that report, and that report even has a video so you can see those little critters as well. That's it. So long for parasite cleanse. Sister Kashakia, are you ready? Sister Kashakia,
I'm here.
are you
Yes, I'm
ready?
here, Dr. Truman.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, I'm going to mute the other mics. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes, I'm here, Doctor. I'm here.
okay,
Well,
I'm ready if you're ready.
evening. Yes, I'm ready, Doctor. I'm
Good.
ready. Good
Oh,
evening, everyone. As always, I'm excited for another edition to be here with you guys this evening for another topic. I always look forward to bringing something out. My name is Sister Kashakia, and I always speak on a topic called AGEs. And I am a cancer survivor, just in case any new people are on the call. A lot of people have already heard my story, but I can't seem to tell it enough, so I always tell it again just in case we have new people. I am a cancer survivor. In the year 2011, I was diagnosed with anal cancer. And 2012, I was already healed from cancer in reference to using the product that I'm going to talk about as well as applying my faith. So I've been through the battle of cancer. I heard someone else on here earlier talking about cancer, and we are lifting you up, brother, along with your father, because it is the Most High that brings the healing. So like Dr. Truman said, we simply just share information about remedies and things that we've already researched to share with other people, and then they can make their own decision if they would like to use these natural herbs and supplements and foods as an alternative for a more holistic approach. So again, I always like to talk about a product or a food that's called noni. And I always start off talking about what is the definition to food because we don't seem to hear this definition enough. And many of our people really still don't really understand what is food because a lot of the diseases that we've been on here talking about today that I've heard talked about, it has to do with a lack of the nutrients from the food source that we should be getting because we know we have MSGs, we have hormones, we have additives. I mean, we've just got so many deadly chemicals, and they are extracting all of the daily nutrients that we need from our food. So therefore, this is where cancer, arthritis, all the stuff that's going on, along with our water supply, the lead poisoning, mercury, just on and on and on. So I always like to talk about what is food to give a definition of food according to the Most High's definition. And this is in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. And it says food is a nutritive material taken into a living organism to sustain life, to promote the growth and the repair of the tissues, and to give energy for the vital processes. Now, typically, most of us have been to a doctor at some point in our life, and we always hear them talking about they need to do some lab work, they need to do some blood work, or so on and so on, whatever type of work they're doing. And it always somehow relates to the word cells that you hear them talking about, whether it's your white blood cells or your red blood cells. They're always talking about something that has to do with cells or your muscles or your tissues. And as we just heard, again, food plays a part even within the repair of tissues. So a lot of times when they're giving us all of these medications that they're putting us on, it's doing more harm than it is good when we just simply need to change our diet and add the right food or maybe per se a food supplement like Tahitian noni or the herbs that Dr. Truman is talking about, and it will begin to give your body what it needs so your body can heal and repair itself on its own. Also, food will give you energy. A lot of our people are so tired. I'm going to go into talking about the liver here in just a little bit and the role that the liver plays to the body, and how it plays a huge part in giving us energy or taking energy away. So a lot of us just seem like there's just not enough hours in the day when actually there is enough hours in the day. What's missing out of the day is the nutrients that we need. That's what it's not enough of in the day. There's not enough nutrients going into our body in the daytime. So as a cancer survivor using this product that I've been using for over a decade now, working with people all around the world, but I was using this product personally myself, and I got off of this product, which is the worstest thing that I could have ever made a decision to do because about a year prior from that, This is when I got sick with a very, very sharp abdominal pain. And then I had lymph nodes about the size of walnuts that had flared up on me. And I was misdiagnosed with the fact that I had internal hemorrhoids, which actually the hemorrhoids were flaring up because of the cancer that was in the anal area that was growing rapidly, because I was at a stage 3, almost a stage 4 by the time they found the cancer. So it had creeped up on me pretty fast. But they had been treating me the whole time for internal hemorrhoids, which that's not even the problem that I have. And they call themselves experts, which is real funny to me because even the expert dropped the ball. They never found the cancer until I had a MRI done to have some fibrocystic tumors removed that had some difficulty. I had heavy bleeding, menstrual cramp, things like that fibrocystic tumors bring upon. And I had an MRI done that actually revealed that I had something black in the anal, and that's when they discovered that it was the anal cancer that was growing. So now I had a whole new situation on my hands that I had to be treated for and dealt with and diagnosed with. And so I did do a little bit of the chemo and the radiation, which nearly was worse than the cancer itself because the side effects that came with the chemo and the radiation was just worse than cancer itself. So I work very closely with a lot of medical professional people, but another lady named Shirley Thomas, who's a registered pharmacist, reminded me that, Kashakia, you need to get back on your noni. And then that's when I was reminded of the power and the properties and the compounds that are in the noni. And so I saturated my body very, very quickly. So by the time I had my first biopsy in January, after getting off of chemo and radiation, for my own faith, I made this decision. When I went back, I had saturated my body very, very well. So the first biopsy came back that the cancer was gone and I was cancer-free, which they never would give the Most High the credit for that. But they still can't believe today that I am still walking around telling my testimony and my story to people. And when they see me, I never, ever look like I've ever been through any cancer. So all praise to the Most High for that. So talking about the liver one-on-one. Your liver is your body's powerhouse. It's responsible for many of the processes that help keep your body functioning optimally. And a healthy liver plays a key role in relieving digestive issues such as sluggish metabolism, gas or bloating, and constipation. It also regulates blood and sugar levels, which, when out of balance, can cause the sugar fatigue, overthinking, and the a toxic liver can lead to inflammatory diseases such as diabetes, arthritis, high blood pressure, autoimmune diseases, as well as hormonal imbalances that can cause headaches, mood swings, and depression. In addition to these many more functions, your liver plays an important role in maintaining a healthy weight. So in short, your liver is vital in creating and sustaining equilibrium in your body. Healing and nourishing and supporting it can be the practice, I would say, that you can pursue to reclaim wholeness in your body as well as your mind and your spirit, which are three things that should also always be whole at all times. Caring for such a complex and powerful organ, it does require great diligence, regarding what you allow to come into your body. The Most High said that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. It's a holy dwelling place where the Spirit lives and dwells. But a lot of times I think we forget that because we live in a time and day now where we just think our bodies are our own and we can do what we want to do and we can put what we want to put in them, and therefore we suffer the consequences because we didn't listen to the voice of the Most High. And when he created the earth, he goes back to Genesis talking about the plants and the herbs and every green thing that he put here for meat, which is another word for food. We would eat the herbs and the foods that we're supposed to, the body would not have the diseases and sicknesses in them that they have. So a lot of times that's why, because we're missing the right food sources that we need. So unfortunately, you may unknowingly be subjecting your liver to injury every day by just deciding that we're going to eat what we want to eat. But most of us on this call today are here because we're looking for different remedies and understanding more options when it comes to our food sources and our herbs and supplements and things of that nature, so we can be able to have the body heal and repair itself without all the negative side effects that we pump into our bodies. So with every breath you take, every bite you chew, every drink you swallow, your liver, it must filter every single item that enters your body. So consider the chemicals you consume regularly, from pollution to pesticides to preservatives, processed foods, plastics to hormone-laden foods, herbicides, and heavy metals. These toxins liver, compromising its ability to perform its many jobs. So while it's one of the most abused organs in the body, your liver also may be one of the most forgiving. It can lose 3/4 of its cells.
You can't call Anna and call her. She's working.
The only organ that generates itself. So when you become proactive about healing and fulfilling your liver, it can respond quickly. So when your liver accomplishes a wide variety of jobs, benefits like increased energy, clearer thinking, fewer food cravings, and more control over your weight. So clearly your liver is very important, as we can see. And so how do you help it to keep, healthy and balanced and energized? And what can you do when it's not working at its best? And so that's what talking about AGEs are, and how they actually affect the liver, and understanding the process of the liver as far as dealing with toxic overload. So if your liver or your body's detoxification pathways have become overloaded, all of the toxins accumulate in your blood system, your fat cells, and the liver. But if they stay too long, your immune system kicks into overdrive kind of state, treating these chemicals as if they were invading organisms. There's that word organisms again that we read about in the Zazen Bible Dictionary that says food is a nutritive material taken into a living organism. Your immune system, it produces excessive inflammatory chemicals, and your body produces antibodies when it perceives that it's been exposed to a living organism. But sometimes it does produce, the auto antibodies, protein-based antibodies manufactured by your own immune system that mistakenly targets your body's own tissues. So usually the immune system is able to discriminate between foreign substances and your body's own cells. When your immune system fails to recognize invading organisms as its own, though it may produce autoantibodies that attack its own cells, the tissues, or the organs, causing inflammation and damage. In this kind of what I would use, hypostimulated state, your immune system can become susceptible to a variety of immune disorders like allergies, inflammatory diseases such as rheumatoid arthritis, and even cancer, chronic fatigue syndrome, or another one, autoimmune diseases, Crohn's disease, multiple sclerosis, lupus, and type 1 diabetes, and anemia, just to name a few. So going into understanding what are AGEs. So a lot of times I always ask people as a conversation piece, what is your true age? And they will always blurt out to me some type of chronological number. And I'm not talking about a chronological number. I'm talking about what are your AGEs, which is an acronym that actually means advanced glycation end products. And what are glycation end products? Well, those are foods and beverages, and there are also harmful compounds that form when the sugar molecules and the protein peptides fuse together. So the AGEs are found in the food we eat, and they also form inside our bodies. AGEs are also linked to every major disease. So pretty much all of the diseases that we talked about today, AGEs are attached to these diseases. So the AGEs can range from diseases such as diabetes and heart disease, and it also puts a person into premature aging. So I talk about a product called Tahitian Noni, or MAX, that is clinically proven to reduce AGEs up to 24% in as little as 4 weeks. And so just to kind of name some of the health benefits that the noni alone helps assist the body with, which are from the phytochemicals in the noni, which the word phyto means plant-based. It's just simply a food from a plant. The chemicals come naturally with no preservatives, no additives, no anything, just naturally, made from the earth, the way the Most High put it into the earth. And some of the benefits, it helps with allergies. It's antibacterial. It is superior in antioxidants. It promotes the autoimmune and the blood pressure. Also with fatigue and cholesterol levels, diabetes, eczema, inflammation, multiple sclerosis, malaria, even prostate conditions, varicose veins, pain relief. I mean, on and on and on. People that maybe have sleep problems, sleep apnea, things like that. Maybe you have an imbalance in your hormones. On and on and on, viruses, things like that. That's just to name a few of the health benefits that the noni can help assist with. But sticking to the topic on AGEs, I want to kind of go into talking about the noni and what's found in the noni. Noni is just a food supplement that's combined with noni and other berries. And these berries have a bioactive compound in them which is not hardly found in other food plants, which makes the noni what's called an adaptogen. And an adaptogen is a non-toxic, and it's basically where it clings to your own DNA. It works on a biological level. So each individual that's on the call, maybe you might have 5 different issues going on with your body. And the bioactive compounds and the nutrients, there's 150 nutrients in every 1 ounce. There are different nutrients that the body specifically needs that it doesn't get from certain food sources. So that's a lot of nutrients, and these nutrients are alive. They are living, and that's very, very important to understand, because most of the time, by the time we go shopping, get the food to our table, we cook it. All of the nutrients have been cooked out because we're probably cooking our food on high when we need to be cooking in crock pots and steaming, staying away from barbecue and other things that also increase AGE levels in the skin, in your hair. These AGEs, they latch on and they form to every single organ of the body, and then it causes the premature aging to begin to set in. And so things just begin to go out of range because it's now battling with this excessive sugar and protein. So talking about the liver, that's not good, knowing the important role that a liver plays to the body to have these AGEs also inside of the liver. So, like I said, an adaptogen, it has a normalizing effect. It doesn't cause, change outside of the normal healthy range. And noni is documented in a book called the Medical PDR, which is a physician's best reference book, as having 0 side effects. So there's absolutely no side effects. There's 2 types of PDRs. You have a nutraceutical and a pharmaceutical. You will find the Tahitian noni in the nutraceutical because it's just simply a nutrient. This is why the FDA has want to try to shut this company down from people finding out about noni. But all praise to the Most High, His favor has been with this company, and now we're currently operating in over 80 countries that this product can be able to get to. So it's been a blessing for many, many people's lives. Millions of people worldwide have come off their medications, and their life is at optimal level health now. The berries that it does consist of is the noni, which has the highest of what's called iridoids. And iridoids are only found in certain medicinal food plants, not a regular food plant, but a food medicinal food plant. And noni falls under a medicinal food plant because of the properties that it has for helping the body to heal and repair itself. So it has 16 different iridoids, and you can Google that word to learn more about it. It has actually 16 different iridoids, which has, and the word iridoids is spelled IRIDOIDS. You can Google that word, research it, look more up on it, and you will understand that you will not be able to find these iridoids in foods laying around your local supermarkets or grocery stores because they're only found in certain food plants. And this plant noni comes all the way from Tahiti, from the South Pacific, and it's been used for well over, 6,000 years that people have been using this product. Also, it has blueberry, and we all know how good blueberries are, and they are also high in antioxidants and have very good properties in them. It also has the olive, which is called mawaca. We have the cranberry, which is right there in Oregon, where Dr. Truman is, and it has the Canadian cherry in it, which comes from Turkey. So each one of these berries come from a different location in the earth, and each one of these fruits and berries I just called out have a source of iridoids in them, with noni having the highest source of iridoids. So with the other ones combined with the noni, it is able to manage and control these AGEs, where you can use them for AGE management. So we have something that is called Sugar Stop. I talked about Sugar Stop probably about 4 weeks ago, a while back, but I try to bring it up at least once a month, time to time. And Sugar Stop is also a body Sugar Stop. It's a product designed with AGEs in mind. And what it does is it helps to manage the AGEs and also helps to maintain a healthy weight loss. So some of the benefits of using Sugar Stop is the number one, it can help to assist with weight loss and the AG management in a healthy way. It does contain white kidney bean extract to block sugar and starch absorption, which is phenomenal because that's less sugar that's going into the liver, causing the liver to have to work twice as hard. It has 2 sources of fiber to eliminate the fat and the waste. It effectively suppresses appetite and may also help you to maintain healthy blood glucose levels because it has barley trim in it as well. And it's just really one of the earth's best ingredients to help fight the AGEs. I've had many, many testimonies of people that have been able to come off of their insulin or their pills, some people depending on what form of diabetics, but you don't have to be a diabetic. This is not a product targeted for diabetics, but it's just, an asset to people that are because it helps to block and remove up to 40% of sugar from the body. And so that's what we all need so the nutrients can be able to enter into the cells and be oxidated with, hydrated very well with some good water and from time to time the colloidal silver leaf water, as Dr. Truman has been talking about, so we can be at optimal level of health. So you can be able to get yourself scanned by what we have called a true age scanner. That's clinically validated, and it's non-invasive, so there's no needle for scalpel, and it's fast. It gives you results in about 20 seconds, and it's proven effective. So it begins to test your AGE levels, just like you would know your blood pressure levels or your BMI index levels or your cholesterol levels. You need to get yourself scanned so you can know what is your AGE level, because your AGE levels are very important as well. And so if you're interested in setting yourself up to scan, I was in Houston this weekend where we did some scanning. I have another tour coming up. I'm not for sure exactly where, but I will keep everyone posted on the cost that's coming up, and it will be in the month of February. But if you're interested in getting yourself scanned or learning more about AGE, you can email me at kshaw, SHAW0026 @gmail.com, or you can contact me directly at 469-443-2124. And if I don't answer, you can leave me a message. Sometimes I don't get a chance to get right back with you because I'm doing conferences all day long, but I will do my best to get back with you as soon as possible. And if you are interested in ordering the Sugar Stop or the True Age Max or the Tahitian Noni, you can get it. Dr. Truman will give out the website and the telephone number where you can order the True Age Max, and the difference between them both is the milligrams in the iridoid serving. So there's a website Dr. Truman will give you, and you can get more information from that. So with that, that's my topic today on Liver 101. Dr. Truman, I'll turn everything back over to you. If anyone has any questions, they can call me or email me at the information I just gave out. So if you would now give out the website where they can be able to order these products in case they are interested in any of them.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sister Kashakia. There it was, Liver 101. And again, Tahitian Noni to the rescue. You can get that Tahitian Noni and add all the AGE products and so forth. Call Brittany over there at 541-791-8400. That's 541-791-8400. That's betterhealthherbs.com. Betterhealthherbs.com. But you want to give Brittany a call at 541-791-8400. And any of the products that we've talked about, they have them there at Better Health.